Hey, I'm Michael Levin, and books are my babies. My mom is 79 years old. She has a touch of Alzheimer's. She had a stroke. Her mobility is limited. And my children, who are young, know her as the sweet, kindly grandmother who loves them very much. What they don't really grasp is that when she was 4 years old, she and her family were escaping from the Holocaust, a five-country odyssey: Belgium, France, Spain, Cuba, to the United States. They traveled from France to Spain, smuggled in a hay wagon, and then sailed from Barcelona. It's an amazing story, and we actually captured it in this book. My mother calls herself a Jewish gypsy because she's moved so much. And if we hadn't done this, if we hadn't captured her story and the photos and everything else, then would my kids really have known exactly who she is and the courage she and her parents displayed in traveling the way they did? Otherwise, they would have been lost. Every family has an amazing journey, whether it's an intellectual journey, a spiritual journey, a business journey, a journey from to the United States, from the old country, wherever that might be. And there's really no better way to capture that legacy than in a book. So what I'd like to do very briefly for you right now is offer you 9 keys to writing memoirs that have come to me as a result of having written dozens of family memoirs for our clients at Business Ghost. Here we go. Number 1, you don't have to cover an entire life. In my mom's book, we covered the years 1936, when she was born, to 1946, when they came to the United States. We didn't get into all the details of her later life. Sometimes there's just one period that's really important, and that's what you want to cover in the book. That's okay. Number 2, the first draft is often what I call the therapy draft, meaning that once you put it down on paper, you have the cathartic release of having written it, but at the same time you see, hey, you know something? Maybe that story about Aunt Edna should not see the light of day. And that only happens after you get it down on paper. So don't worry about revising and taking things out that should not go public. It's part of the process. Number 3, documents are just as powerful as illustrations as photographs. If you've got immigration documents, early work documents, things like that, those are incredibly powerful and add a wonderful dimension to the story. So be sure to include those, because otherwise they're just going to get thrown out at some point and lost. Hire an interviewer. It may be easier for a loved one to talk to an outside person than to speak to a family member about particular events. Sometimes that just is easier for folks. Number 5, private citizens have rights of privacy, meaning that there are certain things that you cannot say about other people, even if they're true, because they have a right to privacy. So tread carefully if you're saying anything negative. In fact, why say anything negative at all? That's really not what we're trying to accomplish here. Number 6, save money with the right vendors. You can use CreateSpace, which is Amazon's independent publishing arm. They're terrific. And you can use 99 Designs to get your cover designed. CreateSpace and 99 Designs for the money are absolutely the best low-cost way of doing it. At Business Ghost it costs more, but we do a very fine job, so our clients think it's worth the money. The truth about copyright, that's point 7. It only costs $35 to get something copyrighted. You go to loc.gov, libraryofcongress.gov, and you can fill in the form for yourself. There are companies that will charge you hundreds of dollars to fill that form in for you. Don't waste your money. Number 8, the 80% solution. Remember that there's no such thing as a perfect book. Once you get your draft to 80%, have a family member look at it, polish it, and so on. But don't try for perfection. There's really no such thing. The most perfect book is the one that exists, as opposed to one that still remains on your hard drive. Number 9, above all, that remember that you're not just creating a book, you're creating a legacy. And that's why it's such an important thing to do, and to do right. And that's why, if you really want to do it the right way, all I can suggest is, at the risk of sounding self-serving, but it's my ability to serve you, call us. We've done memoirs for some of the leading families in the United States. We do beautiful work. We create books that families treasure. So our suggestion is, give us a call. You can drop me a note at michael@businessghost.com. You can call us at 800-637-6856. We'd love to hear from you and see if we can serve your family and create the family memoir that your family truly deserves. Thanks for listening, and namaste.